point called Gangstalking. I've been talking about this Gangstalking persecution for more than a decade. What is Gangstalking? Gangstalking is tyranny, it's oppression, it's persecution. And there's so many different angles that I can deal with this from. But Gangstalking is a secret persecution program. That is correct. Like Gangstalking, it's also narcissistic psychopathic abuse on steroids, where people get recruited to target with narcissistic abuse. So a big part of the target is explainable and understandable from a framework of psychology and narcissistic psychopathic abuse. Narcissistic abuse, which means people that have been researching narcissistic abuse, they've been talking to themselves, they've watched like Sam Backman, Richard Grannon videos, so on and so forth. They might be better able to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about Gangstalking on videos. Now here's the point. This Gangstalking persecution point recruits people to stalk and harass me and target me. One of many ways that they target me is they recruit people with a smear campaign to be flying monkeys to target with narcissistic abuse. See, narcissistic dog whistling abuse, covert narcissistic abuse. That's a big part of targeting. And in this video, I'm continuing my YouTube short I just made, where one of many people that I've been watching his videos, I stopped watching his videos, he's a deep state shill Grannon, Richard Grannon, okay? But throughout all the years of targeting, there's been some psychology research and watching videos on the topic that's very relevant to me being a targeted video. Narcissistic abuse, gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the psychological warfare methods I've been targeted with. So being a targeted video, I'm targeted with narcissistic and psychopathic abuse, where there's a smear campaign recruiting people to be flying monkeys to target me with covert abuse tactics. Can you see how Gangstalk is explainable and understandable to a large extent just using the framework of narcissistic psychopathic abuse? Narcissistic abuse, only that. And so what happens? Well, people are recruited with a smear campaign to be a flying monkey, so-called, to target me as a target video with narcissistic abuse, narcissistic dog whistle abuse tactics, covert abuse tactics, subtle gaslighting, subtle put-downs. It's narcissistic abuse. So, or I can avoid using those terms and just go, there's a secret program that lies to people about me to recruit people to be secret agents of this program, and here's some of the ways they target me. Subtle insults, and a person who's like Sam Backman would be like, oh, that's narcissistic abuse. If somebody knows that, even if I like avoid purposely to use terms like smear campaigns, flying monkeys, gaslighting and stuff, like subtle lies, they would understand it. Now here's the thing too, and part of this is I'm reacting to recent flying monkey interaction. So here's the point. There's a clip from Richard Grannon where it talks about narcissistic abusers. And narcissists, if they go to prison, all of a sudden, it's like making the argument that a narcissist is not like they have no choice but to be a narcissistic abuser, because if they have free will, ability to turn off the narcissistic abuse switch, evidenced by narcissists go to prison. Now they're in an environment where if they keep narcissistic abusing people, you get the skull cracking, okay? See, now magically they stop being a narcissist in their behavior. They stop narcissistic abusing people, see? Which is like, okay. And me being a total narcissistic abuse that relies on smear campaigns, recruiting flying monkeys in the city to be flying monkeys talking with narcissistic abuse, I really love the fact that me practicing cracking skulls, kicking people in the cradle with steel cap shoes to have every time I go to the supermarket wearing my steel cap shoes, and practicing like cracking a ball over somebody's cradle the next time goes in the carotid artery, for example. And it's like me practicing all this stuff, being a warrior, and I'm not practicing to scare people for the sole purpose of intimidating bullies or practicing murdering people, but it's like different martial arts forms where I practice katana sword fight. I don't even have a katana. I practice so martial arts, I get a stick and practice katana like kendo, like how do the kendo guys work? Well, they move like this kind of. Okay, now part of what I'm doing is practicing all kinds of martial arts, understand? It's a passion of mine. Anything from like practicing knife fighting, fighting with and without weapons, kicking to the head with steel cap shoes, which could crack a skull, understand? Kicking to legs, if you kick to the kneecap, could crack somebody's leg. and not on the ground, and what happens to them is up to me, understand? So me being a third individual who's practicing self-defense in a variety of martial arts forms, knife fighting, stick fighting, fighting with glass balls, improvised weapons, kicking with steel cap shoes. I love the feedback where I can tell that it's like they don't like this, the gangstalkers, because it's like you're throwing micros in the machine, Mike. Even though I'm not like aiming to the reason I start training martial arts is to scare bullies, something like this. No, but like as a welcome side effect, if me practicing martial arts, like steel cap kicks to the head, the legs, practicing knife fighting, practicing fighting with this and that and the other thing, and staying athletic and in shape, if that makes it harder for the program to recruit people in this city to bully me and talk with narcissistic abuse, be like, okay, fly monkey, here's a smear campaign. Mike is a pedo, wants to eat your kids, okay? He's a serial rapist, murderer, whatever they tell him. Now, he's a bad object, and it's like, now it's not bad to abuse him, okay? The guy's smear campaign, guy's a witch. So now that we got to convince guy's a witch, we can get to feel justified in drowning the person, see? But without convincing you that the person is a witch, it's hard to get a village to be like, let's just drown this person here and subject them to disgusting levels of abuse and physical abuse and psychological abuse. Like first you got to have a smear campaign, person is a witch for the greater good of the community. We need to subject them to this abusive treatment, like drowning them or something like this. Okay, so you can also just explain gangstalking from like fairy tales or like witch hunt historical examples, where it's like you have a smear campaign working to dehumanize the target. They're a witch, they're demonic, they're not like a real human. There's some very evil object, they dehumanize the witch, there's some evil spirit of Satan. And for the greater good of the community, casting spells, it's their fault scapegoating if people get sick in the community because they're casting spells. And now for the greater good, we need to murder them and like drown them and things like this and burn them at the stake. So I don't have a problem with the fact that me practicing cracking skulls is making it harder for people to recruit flying monkeys to narcissistically abuse me. That's when monkey wrenching the machinery. That Mike Size is a guy that practices cracking skulls as a martial artist. And that makes it harder for the deep state persecution program called gangstalking to recruit people to be flying monkeys, to stalk me, abuse me, harass me, and target me with covert narcissistic abuse, which is part of what the flying monkeys get put up to do after being recruited into the program. To target with covert gaslighting, subtle threats, communicate veiled threats, veiled put-downs, narcissistic abuse, devaluation. To be like gaslighting. It's like communicate a veiled thing that Mike, you're gay, because the truth is you're a Christian and have aversion to the homosexual thing. And then like gaslight you. The truth is Mike's a Christian. Let's edify Mike and see that Mike is a child of Satan and demon possessed or something like this. It's just different types of narcissistic abuse. So a lot of what I see from the flying monkey gang stalkers is just randomly narcissistic abuse. Subtle gaslighting, subtle put-downs, devaluations, things like this. And projections too. Where it's like other people in the hierarchy are guilty of being X, Y, and Z. And then the flying monkeys will project like weaknesses from other people on like team gangstalker in that hierarchy onto me. So I don't have a problem with the fact that me practicing cracking skulls and stabbing necks and breaking knees and orbital bones and like smashing faces and really hurting people. Okay, that is making it harder to recruit flying monkeys in this community. That I'm an active YouTuber, only IRL streamer in this city that's like streaming live every day. And part of what I do on top of video gaming and cooking shows and like goofy joke streams is practicing cracking skulls. That basically martial arts training, which is like an aggressive way to describe martial arts training. That part of what I do on my YouTube channel is practicing cracking skulls. And if there's an effort to recruit people in this city to be a flying monkey to talk with narcissistic abuse in the supermarket when I'm there shopping, to get told to put on a t-shirt with a clown face and then as this guy passes, say this word, it's narcissistic abuse, okay? Narcissistic dog with abuse tactics. If it's making it harder for them to recruit people to have that job long term and subject me to narcissistic abuse because I'm practicing cracking skulls on my YouTube channel, so be it, understand? That's a welcome side effect. So my intention of practicing martial arts is not, I didn't start practicing martial arts after becoming a video. Okay. I was practicing martial arts, and I've never switched my style of self-training, self-teaching, solo training. Understand? It's like, as a kid, I was practicing pick up sticks and play fighting with my buddies, and like you see a Zorro movie of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you and a guy in the neighborhood pick up a stick and let's practice with it. Understand? What's that? That's sparring, and it's like solo training. We're like playing around. So it's like since I got into practicing martial arts, I never stopped. Understand? So if me practicing martial arts more and more and more intensely and getting more capable over time, if that's for monkey wrenching the machine or flying monkey recruitment to target with narcissistic abuse, I don't have a problem with that, okay? As a matter of fact, it's like, here's the thing too. I am not in the wrong, okay? Meaning, I personally now, okay, I do believe that people that flying monkeys work to abuse me, they deserve to fear getting murked, understand? Have their face cracked, understand? Getting hurt, getting fucked around, find out. If they are fearful, lost cowards, they are worried about, I feel like this guy could kill me possibly if he decides to stand up to me. And that's what they're thinking, okay? I'm not saying they should. It's like if people are gangstalking agents, flying monkey for this program, if they deserve to be worried about getting hurt physically or criminally. They deserve to fear consequences of what they're doing. And I don't care, understand? I'm less apologetic over time. If you see my livid rants, and I'm not threatening anything in this video, okay? I'm saying if bullies that are bullies work for this program are like worried about like, wow, I feel like this guy might could fucking kill me if he just stands up to me for bullying him and it leads to a fight. I feel like this guy might end up killing me or something. So hurting me real bad for life. It's like, I'm not saying they should, but they deserve to feel that way is what I'm saying. Okay? And if you see my livid rants, where you feel like this guy, I feel like he feels like the perps deserve the bullies to have their faces ripped off or something like this. I'm not saying that that's what I'm saying, but if you see my livid rants, I'm like the founding fathers. The founding fathers felt like the British deserved to be killed for abusing them and oppressing them, see? So if I feel like the perps deserve capital punishment, and if I feel like, as a discussion on ethics, that I believe that I would have a right to kill people that fly monkey gang socks work for this program. That it wouldn't be murder. It'd be like the founding fathers fighting back to the British after being abused by them. That's a clear case, understand? That's a clear case. Meaning, if I would, and I'm not saying that, but hypothetically, as an ethics discussion, if I would come out tomorrow and say, I believe that I have a right to unalive the bullies. I believe that I have the right to unalive people bullying me. I believe I have the right to attack physically and try to unalive people that are gang stalking flying monkey bullies. If I would say that, not threaten it, but say that as an ethics discussion, moral discussion, that I believe that I would have a right to, technically, without threatening to, okay? And like squaring it with, I'm not gonna, but technically I believe that I would have the right to, okay? Not necessarily by the law of the land, but like moral as a contrary Bible. What's right and wrong. And people go, Mike, you're wrong. You would have to disagree with the founding fathers and the war of independence. Because they were being abused and bullied. And they were like, we're going to kill these British people. Take up arms and start killing these people until they leave us alone, stop abusing us. They have started abusing us. We're going to fight back with violence and kill the red-coat British. So we get our freedom back and can live without being abused and tyrannized and oppressed. So if you would disagree with me in a case like that, you would disagree with the founding fathers. And a lot of Christian Americans are like, yeah, the founding fathers had the right to kill the British and rebel against them because they're being oppressed and tyrannized. They had the right to rebel. They had the right to kill the British, the redcoats. Okay? So if you see me ranting and raving and leaving, you feel like this guy, I feel like his vibe is like he thinks that the perps deserve death or something like this. I want to take up with the founding fathers, okay? I want to take up with the founding fathers. Now, to square everything I've been saying here, I'm not threatening to attack. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not promoting it. I'm not glorifying it, not glamorizing it. I'm not saying that I might, but as a ethics discussion, morality discussion, Bible commentary, I do believe that people being bullied had the right to defend themselves against the bullies. And depending on what type of bullying you deal with, there's different levels of defense against bullying that's justified, okay? Now, Bible look laws wrong self use of weapons all times. So, I don't have a problem if the program sees me practicing cracking skulls and breaking legs. Break a leg, Mike, and I'm acting out, okay? And sagging my pants and I'm acting out and I'm practicing leg kicking, okay? And it's like, oh, Mike, we don't like this. It's like you being who you are on the internet, it's making it harder for us to recruit people to be secret bully, gang-stalking persecutors and talk with narcissistic abuse. I'm not going to go, oh, toxic empathy. There's some people who are bullying, but they start feeling uncomfortable because I'm practicing fighting and hurting human bodies and fighting with ground weapons. And there's some bullies that work for this program that might feel uncomfortable to keep taking orders to show up where I am to talk with narcissistic abuse because they see how I'm practicing self-defense and martial arts. I'm going to sacrifice my martial arts interest and stop training because it's making my abusers feel uncomfortable. No. Hell to the no, hell to the no, okay? So, as a matter of fact, the invigorating animated contest of liberty. As a matter of fact, I don't have a problem with it, okay? So anyway, here's the point. It took some time for me to put it together. So Mike said Pimple News, okay? News, okay, this just in. Update, keep update. If you're Mike South stream viewer and you saw one of the streets out there, I go, and in the middle of the stream, it's like, I got like 3 pimples. It's almost like a triangle. It's the same area, and I'm like, playing detective. Like, could it be this? Like, there's things that are being detoxed, and like right here, it's like a choke point with like some toxins circulating, get caught here, and trigger like irritation, a pimple, and to be expelled. Or could it be this? And it's like the simple thing was evading me. After a few days, wait a minute, as I had a tank top on, it's like that's the spot where like the tank top, one of the arms, it's just that spot. So it's gotta be perfume that I'm allergic to, that's an irritant, that has to be washed out complete from the washing machine. So as I'm putting on a tank top, it has to be a perfume that I'm allergic to, and it's like in the fabric. So this spot is causing irritation leading to acne, okay? So it's like basically, it's like I put it together. Oh, it's a tank top. It's like the tank top, you have like 2 things. And the one that I have is wider. Some have like strings, okay? But the tank tops I have is about this wide. And it'd be like just this area where I keep having pimples show up, okay? So yeah, I figured it out. And before going live here, I just squeezed it and there was some pus coming out of it. So I sprayed it with my antibacterial here. So, yeah, so I'm not gonna change who I am for anybody. I'm not gonna change who I am for anybody. I'm not. Okay. I'm gonna keep being who I am. And yeah. So I'm a persecuted Christian told me I talk with Gangstalking told videos. I've been taught for more than a decade. And Gangstalking, there's a lot of ways I can explain it and talk about it. All of them are correct and ranging more or less precise, okay? And like like a full picture, okay? So I could, without lying, make a video saying I am the target of narcissistic abuse, where the smear campaigns used to recruit people to be so-called flying monkeys to target with covert narcissistic abuse tactics. And they will be entirely true, everything that I'm saying. That I would be erring by minimizing what's happening to me. Because once the target goes from the psychological abuse and like gaslighting to intermittent poisonings and food poisoning, it becomes imprecise by kind of downplaying it. Where it's like I'm downplaying the gravity, the seriousness of what I'm in the face with. It'd be more precise to say narcissistic abuse on steroids at a governmental level. Still being precise because I like to add narcissistic / psychopathic abuse to it. Because if it's part of it is sadistic murder that tornadoes get targeted with, and now you're not doing a good job by just talking about being narcissistic abuse. If you're also being poisoned, attacked physically, slowly murdered and tortured, and part of the targeters they enjoy sadistically, you're slowly murdering you and causing pain and suffering in you. Now it's like that can be part of narcissism, but if you talk about narcissistic abuse, typically what it means is psychological targeting. And if you get into like torture and murdering people, now it's more psychopathic. Okay, so but here's the point. Now every psychopath is narcissistic. Not every narcissist is a full-fledged psychopath. Okay, so anyway, here's the point. I'm a target video. I'm the target of a secret persecution program called Gangstalking video. Targeted videos plural. I've been talking for more than a decade. And gangstalking is tyranny, it's oppression, it's system targeting. This is a state-sponsored, state-sanctioned program. It's called government gangstalking target videos. So there's a secret program called gangstalking that recruits people to target with narcissistic psychopathic abuse. And a big part of the targeting is so this is part of the targeting. There's smear campaigns used to recruit people to be agents, so-called flying monkeys. And a big part of how the flying monkeys target me falls into the framework, like umbrella category of narcissistic abuse, where a flying monkey gets put out to do covert abuse, narcissistic dog abuse tactics, subtle gaslighting. The flying monkey, after being recruited, will get told to do subtle gaslighting, subtle put-downs, working to gaslight and stuff. And a lot of it's just subtle and covert and highly sophisticated because the government doing this to you. To be like CIA level narcissistic abuse, do you understand? And now we get into, I could also go, without being imprecise, I'm the target of a secret program that recruits people to be agents and target with psychological warfare and physical warfare. Like chemical warfare is part of the targeting, but sometimes they spray chemicals on them outside from cars. There's spy gators, called devices can spray like a gas cloud at you. I've been shot with a dart gun or something similar at least once in the leg. Had permanent damage. And things like this. Now when I said talk with psychological warfare, yeah, that could be another way to describe all the different mostly narcissistic abuse tactics that I'm talking with. Do you understand? Because the narcissistic abuse, subtle gaslighting, veiled threats, subtle put-downs, that is psychological warfare. So Rod, your neck is white to the point it becomes transparent when you look into the camera. Okay. I just glass. I've been seeing the chat and purposely ignoring it. I've been seeing like the chat, like the shuffling, and purposely not looking at the comments. Okay, because that a lot of times they decrease my performance. Okay, I mean it's like my videos. I went live here to rant and rave, and I've been noticing the like count going up as I'm ranting and raving, and I've been seeing it's like things moving at the bottom of the screen indicating people are leaving comments. And I've been ignoring that at this point. So sometimes my style is, if I don't turn off the comment section before going live, is purposely ignore the comments, get said what I want said, and I wanted to go live and talk a little about this. Now I'm done, so anything I do after this point is like bonus. Okay? I felt like I got done, I got out of my system what I want to talk about. It's like, yeah. Yeah, so let's read the comments. Some of the people attack me are statistically likely to be gang-stalking cyber-stalkers. So part of the gang-stalking is cyber-stalking. So there's people recruited to be so-called flying monkeys and target in real life. To stalk them and get sent to go away and target with COVID abuse tactics. And there's people They'll recruit you to target me online too. Here's another thing. By proxy, okay, so here's the point. How can this program get a lot of people to target me? It's not that every person harassing me online is a gang-stalking cyber stalker that's been recruited by a smear campaign. They know that it's like they're targeting me for this program, okay? Now, they can have one person who knows that they're a gang stalker and recruited like a perp, okay? And they are a gang stalker. They know they're working for a program, targeting me or targeting video for the program. And they have the job to go around recruiting people to participate. Like this is kind of like hypothetical, but like there's a person that's a gang stalker, and they get sent to recruit other people to target me. It could be like, let's say there's like a group, it's like gay support, like a Discord group or Reddit thread about gays, like a Discord group or like gay support group. And then somebody's a gang stalker. It's like their goal is like to have me be harassed all the time in real life and online, and targeted with abuse. See? So the gang stalking program can recruit more or less unwitting third parties to participate. Other guys are just internet trolling. Whereas a guy shows up in a Discord group, it's a gay support group. It'd be like, this guy's a Christian. He says it's a sin to be gay and not natural. And he's live right now. Here's a link to his live stream. And the person came to the Discord group when I went live to go, there's a guy who's live right now and he believes it's the sin to be gay. He's live right now, drop a link to this stream there. And it's like 12 people showing up. It's like, Mike, I want to kiss your butt or something like this. I want to hug you. I'm gay, you're gay too, Mike. I want to be gay with you, something like this. And it's like, people are harassing me. And it's not that every person doing that is like, I know I'm a government agent, targeted video for a secret persecution program that's reminiscent of Cirsetson, the Stasi Cirsetson program. But it can be one person that recruits other people to participate. Now, that's not excusing the behavior, because the behavior of the people still be abusive, understand? So, I do believe that that is part of how they recruit people to target you. So, they have some people that are knowing gang stalkers, and they use smear campaigns to go around recruiting other people to target you, understand? And in this day and age with social media, they can recruit, and it's like the plausible idea is like, oh, Mike, they wanted to believe it's just run-of-the-mill trolling, okay? When they recruit people to be gang stalkers, target me online, they wanted to think it's just internet trolling. When in reality, these people are government agents, there are gang stalkers that have been recruited by this program to target me. And it's supposed to be plausible as, well, it's just internet trolling, okay? It's just being trolled, okay? It's just internet trolling. So let's see what the IT in the comment section discussion. Okay, let's see the comments maybe contribute to this discussion I'm having. Well, somebody wrote, should I be concerned my phone is listening to my conversations? You should be aware that if your attitude towards accepting reality is up to you. If you want to pick an attitude of being very upset and concerned about it, or if you want to be like, I eat gaff level 9, so I don't care, okay? It's like people want to spy on me and listen to me taking shits in the morning, and it's like, I don't care, whatever. It's up to you what attitude you pick for yourself. I can't pick your attitude for you. I can suggest different attitudes, but the main issue is accepting reality, and then how you personally deal with reality emotionally, and how you what you do with reality after accepting it, that's up to you. But you should be aware that you're being spied on. And I've said this before, and I say it frequently, that everybody's being spied on through the electronics, through your phone, your laptop, even your TV set can be used to spy on you, okay? And I've been talking like this for years, and I've been more and more vindicated over time when I have whistleblowers, like John Kiriakou become a big name all of a sudden, and he's talking about, it's like somebody asking, can your TV, like I've been saying for years, that you can even tap into your home electronics, like your TV set to spy on you. And like John Kiriakou showed up an Instagram clip, can you be spied by it? Yes, they can turn your speaker in your TV into a microphone and listen to you in your living room, okay? See? So anyway, Um, People should be aware that you're being spied on. So you should count on the fact you're being spied on, okay? Unless you live in a cave and you're going off grid. Now, you won't be watching right now, okay? You're watching me on a device that has a microphone and a camera and internet connection, okay? And if a man stares into the abyss, okay? So here's the point. So people should be aware. You should be aware that you are being spied on, okay? Ignorance is not bliss. So people should be aware that and count on the fact that anything they say on their phone is being spied on. Count on the fact they're being spied on, which means anything you do in a room that has a laptop or a phone or even a TV set, you can count on being listened to and recorded, okay? And the attitude that I pick is I'm not happy about it, okay? Because it's an infringement on rights, and the founding fathers would be really unhappy about that if the British would pay people to go up to the window and look to the windows to see what they're doing and have another window on the other side of the house, like a spy who's listening, and then go run back to the power elites, the King George, and be like, here's what they're saying, Americans, in their homes, and what they're doing, what they're wearing, and things like this. Okay, here, do you understand? They'd be real upset about that if people are spying on their own home. Okay, because it's an infringement on your right to privacy, and it's a form of abuse to spy on people like that. So I don't say you should be overly concerned, but you should be aware, okay, and you should be unhappy about being spied on. So everybody's being spied on. The difference is Todd doesn't know that they're being spied on, at least I do. As a Todd, I know I'm being spied on. Because the program, the same deep state that spies on me, they will use information that they gather by spying on me to customize psychological warfare. Okay, to optimize, for the psychological warfare. So we're gonna have flying monkeys targeted with covert narcissistic dog abuse tactics. One way they can do that is that a flying monkey suddenly reference my personal activities in the week leading up to interact with flying monkey. With the flying monkey, we're told to comment and like reference, veiled references, make veiled references, subtle references to a documentary I watched last week, or a song I was humming in the shower, okay? Or do you understand? And this is part of one of many ways you can be narcissistically abused by flying monkeys. They get put up by the program that spies on you to comment and reference things you recently said and done in private. And you will feel abused because the predatory people are working to target all the time are reminding you have no privacy and we're spying on you. And often they will have a gaslighting twist on it. Do you understand? I've explained this before. So if you're targeting video, you talk with narcissistic abuse and then some. Okay, but that's part of the targeting is narcissistic abuse, where the same program, Gangstalking, the spies on you, listen to electronics. They listen to you in your home. Okay, they know what you do on your computer, everything. And here's another thing, where people on the other side just want to go, oh, they just bother because the five monks are saying the truth about you, or that you're doing something wrong, that they remind you that they know what you did last summer. No, that's not the truth. They're commenting on your life just to make you feel abused, understand? And it's more lies than truth. They will use enough truth to be effective in abusing you, understand? Which means for you to notice that the flying monkey is commenting on your personal life and referencing your private life, they had to be accurate enough in what your private life has been for you to notice they're commenting on your private life, okay? See? So it'd be something like, if you've been having a lot of flatulence and gas, and then the flying monkey goes, oh, saw a documentary about gay people had a lot of flatulence and gas because they're doing gay butt sex or something like this. And it's like, oh, they insinuate that I'm a homosexual. See, that's gaslighting, see? It's like partial truth is like the comment on the fact that they've been hearing me ripping farts a lot recently by tapping into electronics because I've been having like stomach problems. And then the gaslighting spin is insinuating that you're gay, see? So it's covering your private life, that you may have flatulence, but then it's gaslighting by saying that the flash is caused by you wearing butt plugs, and you know that you're not wearing butt plugs, see? That's how they communicate to you. But the same program, I see the newsfire monkeys, the perception management, control the narrative, because the truth started to get out about targeting, to be like, if talks are upset about people calling a person like it's because they're speaking the truth with surgical precision. So it's like they're mad because the us noble gang stalkers are keeping an eye on bad people. So it's like the flying monkeys just comment. It's like, yeah, we know that you're cannibalizing stuff, and we know that you're secretly a homo or something like this, and you're a Christian man and you're not secretly a homo. But it's like we're not gaslighting a Christian that they're homosexual to abuse them with gaslighting or anything. It's that we're speaking the truth when we're saying to the straight Christian man that he's gay. It's that we're speaking the truth that's making him mad. It's not that he's mad at people commenting on his personal life and then gaslighting and lying, understand? So that's, in my experience, is how they use the information, where it will be commented on your personal life, but even in of itself, if all they did was just keep commenting on your personal life without adding anything, that would be abuse, because they're spying on you, and like you have no privacy. We, the narcissistic abuser, are beating over your neck, watching every move all the time. That's in abuse of itself, okay? Secondly, I mean, it would even be abuse if the government put a CCTV cam in every person's home, and like they changed so that, yeah, the government has the right to have a camera installed in every person's home to look and listen what people do in their home. And even if it was just they only do something if you break the law on camera, like beat your wife, they send a cop to come arrest you because they saw you beat your wife on the CCTV the government put in your home. Or it's like it's like, I'm getting ready to go blow up the parliament or something, and they send somebody to arrest you before you can do it. If they only like interfere with you breaking the law, or like if you broke the law in your home, then they use the CCTV they have, and they have a government openly watch everything you do in your home. They only did something with it if you broke the law. It will still be abuse, because the government will be watching you in your home, which they have no right to do. They don't have no right to watch you and your wife kissing, hugging each other, and look at you in your home and listen to what you're doing and just spy on you. It'd be abusive even if they only use the spying on you to prosecute you if you broke the law in your home, because they'd be abusing your right to privacy, okay? And the founding fathers would be agreeing with me, okay? It'd be like if the British had a tax, okay, we tiptoe, like if they didn't interfere with like the tiptoe 1,000-step march bowling frog process, but it's like like we stop at taxi tea, and it's like now we're gonna have a tide, where it's like if the British went from that, the founding fathers, okay, we'll let you tax our tea, and then the British are like, okay, now we're gonna tax American people 1% of all of your money, which means if you have 100 gold coins at home, the Brits need one of those, okay? If you have 10 bags of rice in your home, one of those, or like a tenth of one of those, go to the British. So it's like you need to give 1% of all of your like money, okay? And possibly it could be even like if you have rice or wheat or precious metals. It's like the British get 1%, and it's like of money and like rice and wheat or something like this. Potatoes. If you got a kilo of potatoes, a hundredth of that kilo goes to the British. And then they make that a law that you have to give 1% of all your money and some other goods to the British. Okay? And that was a law. And then the British like, okay, now we're gonna have a person that has a job to go and look through your windows to see if you have any money in there. So that, oh, he's got 100 gold coins, check the records, he didn't give one to us. And then come in there, be like, we're gonna get one gold coin because you owe us. Okay? Now that will still be tyrannical. Just spying on making laws that just the whole thing would be wrong, understand? So here's the point. Here's another thing too. I'm never gonna be a guy who becomes